Hey, what's up, guys? RandyGage here. We're a couple minutes, a minute or two early before the master class, so I'm checking in. Oh, I see Jedi West Linden joined. How you doing, dude? Give me a sec. I'm trying to adjust my camera height and the light. Hey, you guys who are on, I see some people jumping on. Hit some hearts or some likes or say hi or let me know where you're logging in from, and we're going to get started in just a minute. Hey, Eric Javier Kolki, man, that's a tough name. All right, so Jedi Jonak is on, the star of the show, the host of the Mastermind, the founder of the Mastermind event. Lisa, good to see you there. Okay, give me a few seconds and let's go ahead. I see it's the top of the hour, so let's go ahead and get started. So welcome everybody, my name is RandyGage. I'm one of the lucky people who gets to be on the faculty of the upcoming Mastermind event, which is coming up in September in Orlando, Florida. And it's a great, to me it's the premier event in our profession. It's the only safe one. It's the one just packed with content. It's not a pitch show. And so one of the things we're doing to kind of add value is these Facebook broadcasts where we're just going to be sharing some of the things, some of the topics and themes and things that we're going to be working on in the Mastermind event and give you a chance to share it with your team and get more growth with your people. So the topic tonight is direct selling for geniuses. Hey Hilda, great to see you on. And how this came about is kind of a funny story. If you saw the slide they made for it, it was like a takeoff of the Dummies book. It wasn't the Dummies publisher. There was actually another publisher that was doing books for a while. It was like For Idiots was the name of the series. So they contacted me and sent me a proposal. Hey, we want you to write the book, Network Marketing or Multi-Level Marketing, whatever, for idiots. And I said, you know what? I love to write books. I'm a writer, I'm an author, but I don't want to write books for idiots. I like to write books for people who apply themselves, who try to become more, have more, do more, become more, who are students, who are professionals, you know. So that didn't go anywhere. But anyway, so when we were looking at what was the topic for that I would do for you guys tonight, I thought this would be a fascinating topic because I think there are some things that, and you don't have to be a Mensa member, the highest level IQ to do this stuff, but I think these are the things that intelligent leaders in our profession do. These are the smart ways to do the business. So these are strategies that beginners may not know about and they may not apply, but people who understand the profession, they will apply these because they know they're going to get more traction, they're going to help their team better, they're going to create better duplication, increase their volume, build their customer base, all of the good things that we want to do. So that's the deal here. I got messages coming on my screen. So Steve, thanks for joining. Got a good crowd coming in. So here's your chance, by the way, share this with your team right now. If you want to share the link on Facebook, tag your team members, everyone on your team who you want to have a better, more successful business, get them on this. And then of course there's going to be a series of these. There'll be another one next week and I'll give you some of those details as we get in the end. Right now I'd like to get right into the content. Smart strategies that help you build the business better, faster, bigger. And I've got 8 of these that I really, as I was planning this for you, saying, okay, what would be the smartest way to do this? These are the 8 subjects that came to mind. Hey, Kuwait, good to see you here. We got people, just like the event, the live event, we have people literally all over the world. All right, so smart strategy number 1, the intelligent people in our business, they create their own support system. Think about this. How many times do you have people in the business say, well, you know, I joined, but then I went home and I talked to my wife and she threw up all over that idea. Or, you know, I went home and my husband said, forget it, that's a horrible idea. That happens all the time, right? Here's the reality. Everyone who joins a business is going to face some kind of pushback at some point, whether it's a negative spouse, whether it's rejection from people that they thought would join the business, whether it's someone they hope is their next super leader and then that person drops out. You have to have a support system, and you have to create it yourself, because this is what it's going to go back to, and this is go to, you know, all you guys who've read my prosperity books. I always say the ultimate decision we're going to get to always is you can be a victim or you can be a victor, but you can't do both. You're going to have to choose one of them. And so if you can say, well, you know, people rejected me or my spouse doesn't support me, you're choosing to be a victor. Or you will create a support structure, a support system that keeps you in the game. Now, usually that's going to be somebody in your sponsorship line, and I hope you have someone up there that you can get with, and you can counsel with them on a regular basis, and you can share challenges with them. They can talk you off the ledge, talk you through things. But if you don't have someone in your sponsorship line, then you need to find what I would call a workout partner. It might be someone from another line. It could even be someone from another company, right? If you look at some of the people on here, Hilda and Wes and Art, we're like workout partners. Even though we're all in different companies, we don't have to compete with each other. We don't try to steal each other's, distributors from our team. Instead of fighting over the pie, we say, hey, let's make a bigger pie, and there's plenty of pie for everybody to eat. So you can get a workout partner like that. And then it's like having a dream board like I have over there with images of things you want to do, have, or become, so that you see it every morning, every night before you go to bed. Those images burn into your subconscious mind of why you're doing that. Doing affirmations, your daily self-development time. People who make it in the business long term, I think they always set up daily self-development time, and they do it every morning. They create their mindset before they ever go out in the world. And they go out there operating at such a high level of consciousness, they're attracting people and circumstances who are at that level of consciousness. And Luis and 6 other people, thanks for sharing. I'm glad you guys are sharing. This is just, for your new people especially who haven't learned this stuff yet, this can make such a difference for them. So I'm excited that we're able to share this with you. Second smart strategy is to build on the customer model foundation. Now, I got to tell you, we're at this really weird juncture point in our profession, because the regulatory environment has changed so much, right? Particularly started in the United States, and you see it making its way across the world, where regulators, hey Tristan, good to see you. Regulators are saying, hey, no, you can't just count people in the network and say you've got a business. We want to see customers. There are certain agencies now saying we need to see at least 51% of customers, meaning people who are not in the network, who are just buying the products. And I think you're going to see more and more of that. So that's what's happening on one side of the equation. You know what's happening on the other side of the equation? The hype and the rah-rah has never been greater. So there is a couple of crazy money games out there now. I mean, ones that are astonishing in the gall and the audacity. I mean, I literally saw a website yesterday where they were posting that there were people making $4 million a month, $2 million a month, $1.9 million a month, in a deal that, I would say is just a flat out money game. Has no business, nobody in network marketing profession would, with integrity would have anything to do with a thing like that. So you got this, here the regulatory is getting more strict, and yet you have crazy people doing even more bold, brazen hype and rah-rah stuff. Yeah, Art, it really is reaching a fever pitch. And it's like the example I always talk about. If you put your thumbs here and we put a, can I be visual since we're on Facebook, right? If I put a rubber band here, right, and the further apart these get, the more tension there's going to be on the rubber band. So it's going to pull this way, or it's going to pull this way, or the rubber band is going to snap. In a case of our profession, I think the rubber band's going to snap, because in other words, we have people with some of these money games based on, they don't even have viable product lines. They're based on currency. Like it'd be like making a network marketing company with dollar bills, or making a network marketing company with Japanese yen or British pound or something. Those are not products. Those are currency that people trade for products. There's certain kind of tangibles that you look for in products in a network marketing company to be viable, right? And so you want products that people will love, they like, they appreciate, they get results, they order them, they buy them over and over. So I think you're going to see a snap, meaning some of these really flagrant money deals are going to get slammed down. That's why some of them don't operate in the United States, because if they did, those people running them would already be in prison. I mean, that's how crazy these deals are. So this model of recruiting over retailing, those people are the dinosaurs, and they're not going to survive in our profession. Remember, all the compensation plan, it doesn't matter if you're on a binary, a unilevel, a stair-step breakaway, or whatever your comp plan is, it's based on PV or GV or SV or whatever they call the points in your customer, meaning it's based on the volume of products that actually get to the end consumer. So if you don't have that going on, if you don't have that foundation of customer-based volume, that is the model that everybody builds a viable customer base, you're just working too hard. You're making it too difficult for yourself, and you're setting yourself up at a good chance of failure. All right, so smart thing, create your own customer, your own support system to build on the customer model foundation. Third smart strategy, the really clever people in our business, they understand that system is more important than victories. Now here's what I mean by that. System is more important than victories. There's a formula for creating duplication in our business. Hey Ross, good to see you. Graham, good to see you. In our business, the formula is we get a large group of people to perform a few simple processes over a sustained period of time. And that's how it creates duplication. 3 parts of the system. First, you need a large group of people. Doesn't work with 1 person, 3 people. You need to get a large group. You need to have simple processes that they follow. And then they need to do those over a sustained period of time. That's the formula for duplication, no matter what company you work in, no matter what your compensation plan is. That's where you're going to create success. Now here's the key thing. Understand that every interaction doesn't create a victory. So the fact that you have this amazing prospect and you think that you have the best product line in the world, and you have this incredible compensation plan and a great support team, and you got strong events, and it doesn't mean everybody's going to join. I like to say our business is perfect for everybody. Everybody's not perfect for our business. All right. I think the voice final is tonight or last night or both nights. All right. So I'm sure there's companies all over the country who have events tonight, and there's going to be people not going to those events tonight. Why? Because they got to watch the voice finale live, right? So they may say they want freedom. They may say they would like to build a solid business. They may say all of the right things. When it comes down to Tuesday night at 8 p.m. and they have to make the choice to be in an event building their business or sitting at home on the TV, with the remote control for the TV, they're going to choose the remote control, right? But here's the thing. Over time, consistent behavior wins. This is why I say system is more important than victories. So if we have a system which is we know we're going to put people in front of presentations. We're going to escalate them up the ladder so the follow-up process takes place. It will ultimately produce desired results. Desirable results. Let's say that. Because it's not the desired results, right? Because the desired results are, we want everyone that we talk to that joins. Everybody that we think is a great candidate, we want them to join. That's the desired result. But that's not going to happen. But what's a desirable result? The desirable result is as we put people in front of the presentations and qualify them and bring them up through the ladder of the ladder of escalation, the people who are right for the business who are going to join, and the people who are not right for the business are not going to join. So it's simply that simple. The process is more important than the individual victory. So you make a commitment to the system, you make a commitment to the process, and if you stay consistent with that, it will produce desirable results. All right, smart strategy number 4. Excuse me one sec. Bear with me. I was playing. I had my team out in the softball, and we got deluged with showers, and then kept playing. We were there all day. I did a tour down in Colombia, 3 cities in 3 days, 8 airplane. I've actually been in bed for 2 days. I got out of bed for you guys. Okay. I even had a training I was going to do last night, and I just couldn't do it. I just crawled back into bed. So the 4th thing is to practice leverage, right? For mi amigos latinos, apalancamiento, right? The hardest word in Spanish I ever learned. This is what the whole business is about, right? This is the sexy thing, is we allow people to escape this trap of trading hours for currency. Leverage, right? So, but here's the thing. We can apply that leverage in all of the ways, yeah, right, Rob. In all of the ways we do the business. And by the way, all the hearts and the likes and I love you guys. Appreciate the love. So it's great to see, and I got a ton of people on, so it's great to see the participation, and like I say, people from all over the world. And for you guys in the UK, I want you to know my thoughts and prayers are with you guys. Stay strong. We're all going to get through this together. So when I talk about practicing leverage, one of the things I would say, back in the day, I used to say, hey, I will have 1 marker, but I want to work with 4 lines, 5 lines, 6 lines. Meaning now today I'd probably say that with 1 remote, right? In other words, so I've got a home meeting, so I've got my plug and play presentation, I've got my remote control to play the presentation. I don't want to just do that for 1 prospect. I want to practice leverage, and I want to have 6 or 8 prospects in the room, right? And if I'm going to have a home meeting, and I've got 6 or 8 prospects of mine in the room, and I've got a brand new guy who joined last week, and let's say his name is Rob, and I say, hey Rob, I know you just started, you got something. If you have anyone who was at your meeting last night and they're ready to go, or they need 1 more up the ladder of escalation, invite them over to my meeting. And then I'll call up Susie from another line. Hey Susie, I've got an event going on tonight, a home meeting, or tomorrow night. You've got anyone in the pipeline that you think would be good? Hey, let's get them over to my house. And so when I click that remote, I've got 5 lines there or 6 lines there, and I'm practicing leverage. The other key part about this is this dynamic. I hope you downloaded my new book on the MLM leadership strategies. Because one of the most important ones in there I talk about is understanding the people that you should be working with on an individual basis versus the people that you should be using group dynamics, right? So let's be real, because you know me, I don't puff it up, I don't pander to you, I don't tell you the politically correct things. I'm telling you the truth. Here's the reality. You're going to sponsor people in the business, and some of these people are going to be energy vampires, and they're going to talk a lot of trash. They're going to say all of the right things, but they're not going to take the action. And they're the squeaky wheels, and they're the ones who, Herman Aramillo, tu eres tarde. And I noticed, these are the people that just, why didn't the company increase the compensation plan? Why doesn't the company lower the price of the products? Why is it so, my town is so difficult? Why are my people so stupid and ignorant and lazy? Why don't I have good people like, Becky does? They've chosen the victim route. And so they just want to call you and, whine and complain and moan and tear you down. And that's a really bad investment of your time, because you get that negative energy from that person pulling you down, and that pulls you down with all of the other people you're working with. And the dynamics are the same in any business. You're going to have 20% of the people are going to produce 80% of the results. 20% of the people are going to produce 80% of the enrollments. 20% of the people are going to produce 80% of the customers. 20% of the people are going to produce 80% of the volume, and on and on and on. This is the way it works in the real world with real people. So those 20%, those are the people you want to be working with individually, personal attention. And the other 80%, those are the ones, that's what you have webcasts for, that's what you have conference calls for, that's what you have team websites for, that's what you have events for. So when they call you up, hey, we've got an event coming up Thursday night. Why don't you get there early and you can chat with me there, and you push them onto the event, because you need to take your magic, most people, we're telling them, do this business in 10 or 15 hours a week. Right? So if you got 12 hours to work your business this week, and you got some negative person that wants to chew on your ear, whining and moaning for 4 hours, they're killing your productivity. So again, move those people. You like my impression? I think Wes is mocking me. Move those people to group functions, and then invest the one-on-one thing with the players. Yeah, I see 2 a.m. where you are. I see we got someone in the Philippines, which is like 6 a.m. And by the way, we're going to move these times around. We thought this time we'd make sure that this gave us North America, South America, and Europe could still get it before they wanted to go to bed. But we'll do different ones at different times. We've got some Spanish ones of these coming up. So check, the times will vary for some of these. All right, number 5. Smart, intelligent people, the geniuses in our business, they utilize the power of events. Rob, okay, thanks, Rob. Hey, thanks, Wes. This business will never be just online only. I don't care what anybody tells you. And I've been hearing that for 15 years, that eventually this was going to move to everything would be online. There'd be no more home meetings, no more hotel meetings. It's never going to happen, guys. There is something that happens at major events when you can get your people together under one roof and create that dynamic, that energy in the room where they meet the top leaders, where they look in their eyes, where they shake their hands. Major events are where people build belief. This is where they get, the expression we use is they get over the line. Meaning their belief becomes so strong that they're never going to quit the business no matter what happens, because their belief, here's the real dynamic. You guys who've read my First Circle book, I'm always talking about the journey from hope to belief. Hope is what gets people into the business. Belief is what keeps people in the business. And belief is created at the major events. So this is where they get over the line. So they join the business because they hope it'll work. I hope I could win a cruise. I hope I could get that bonus car. I hope I could make money. There becomes a point where the belief in their skill sets develop. Their confidence develops. Their belief develops so much that now they don't hope it's going to work for them. They know it's going to work for them. And it doesn't matter if there's a 8-week product back order, they survive it. Okay, it doesn't matter if there's negative publicity, they survive it. It doesn't matter if there's an overzealous regulator who's harassing their company, they survive it. That's just the reality, because their belief is strong enough. They don't hope it's going to work for them. They know it's going to work for them. And here's the interesting thing. I'm going to give you a couple of examples of ranks with the program that I work. One of them is called a senior executive. I think they make, I don't remember the exact amount, but let's say it's like $800 a month. And then there's, like most of you guys, we have a rank called Diamond, and the Diamond makes, a qualified one's going to make about $30,000 a month as a starting thing, right? So here's the thing. Let's suppose I have to plan a training for senior executives, or I have to plan a training for diamonds. Which one do you think is the hardest one to create? The hardest one for me to build and put together to create the curriculum is the one for the senior executives. You know why? Because I have to teach them how to meet people. I have to teach them how to work a candidate list. I have to teach them product knowledge. I have to teach them how to do retailing in the business. I have to teach them inviting. I have to teach them follow-up. I have to give them confidence. I got to, get them enough belief that they're going to stay in through their first, rejections and dropouts and no-shows and all of that kind of stuff, right? It's a very complex training because they've got to learn all those things at the early stages of the business. They need to become proficient at those. You know what I have to do if I'm doing a training for diamonds? I have to teach them how to sell 2 things and 2 things only. Because the only thing I have to teach them is how to sell the product line and how to sell tickets. That's it. Because at the highest levels of our profession, that's what it's about. You're selling the product line and you're selling tickets to whatever the next major event. The Gold Diamond weekend, the mastermind event, the company convention, whatever it is, that's all you're doing is you're selling tickets to the major events. Because you use the events to grow the business, right? You know that if you get people to the major events, they'll build the belief and they'll stay in the business. And then at the local events, even if they don't know how to meet people, how to work the candidate list or some of the foundational stuff yet, they'll learn it at the local events because their belief is strong and they're still in the game. They're still practicing. So I got to tell you, it's really that simple. At the high levels is you're selling the product line and you're selling tickets, right? And if you get people to the major events, they're around the top leaders. They see the culture, they see the character, they see the support system. They build the belief, they gain the confidence, and they're in for life. So you get in the ticket selling business. It's that simple. You're selling the product line, you're selling the ticket. All right, number 6, what the smart people do, the intelligent strategy for growing the business, is they monitor the metrics. Now, for you guys who've read my book or watched the Duplication Nation album, I talk about the counseling, usually monthly counseling. But let's say your company has a weekly pay plan, then it needs to be weekly metrics. And I was very fortunate. My first job as a restaurant manager, when I worked my way up, most of you know I started as a minimum wage dishwasher, and I worked my way up and I became a restaurant manager for a chain back in the day called Howard Johnson's. And at Howard, hey John Marco, good to see you. And so at Howard Johnson, I had, as a unit manager, I had to do an entire P&L every month. So every week I had to balance out the cash, the sales, the cash register, the cash paid out with the bank deposits. They had to be balanced to the penny. And then at the end of the month, I had to tie those 4 or 5 weeks together and show everything and exactly how much money my unit made that month. Even though I'd never been to accounting classes or accounting school, I wasn't an accountant. Every single manager in that chain did that. And when I started in network marketing, it was crazy because back then, we didn't have the internet. We didn't have back offices. You waited till the 20th of the month, your check arrived. We used to, if you had a big group, you'd get a big stack of that green and white lined computer paper with the dot things on the side, and you'd rip off the dot thing and you'd go through and you'd take a red marker for this ranked people and a blue marker for these ranked people and a yellow marker for these ranked people. And I mean, it was just crazy. And that was already the 20th of the month or the 18th of the month, and you were looking at the figures for the month that ended 18 days ago or 20 days ago. And then you just had 10 days left before that month closed. Now with back offices, with mobile apps, with the internet, man, we don't have to do that. We can monitor our metrics daily, real time. So if you're in a weekly plan, I think you need to do this weekly. If you're in a monthly plan, do it monthly. Do the counseling. I don't have time to go in it now, but if you haven't read my book, most of you have read it. If not, go and read the book, the chapter on counseling. But you want to monitor the key metrics: number of lines, number of distributors, average volume of the distributors, how many tickets are sold to the next event, all of that kind of stuff. Because if you measure it, you can monitor it. If you monitor it, you can improve it. Anything that's not measured cannot be improved. This is so critical, guys. If you don't measure, monitor, and modify, you cannot increase, improve, develop your business. So this is a big thing for you. Number 7, I would title this, you direct the focus to the group. Here would be the analogy, they have those desk lamps, right? They're like swivel lamps, and you could face them up to shine on the ceiling, you could face them down to go on your desk, you could turn them sideways to direct the light at someone. This is what you get to do with your leadership in your team, is you direct the focus. And there's only 2 choices, there's no sideway here. You either direct it up at you as the leader, or you direct it down on the team as they are the developing leaderships. And what I'm really talking about here, and this is huge, and there are people who make big incomes in our group that don't understand this. People, who literally in our business, they're making 20 grand a month or 40 grand a month, and they've got a nice income and a nice lifestyle, but they really don't have duplication, and they're grinders because they don't understand this focus. They have made themselves into a superhero, right? So they've got this cult of leadership that they build around themselves. And they're the ones who say, I'm the only one who can, do all the presentations. I've got to do all the training. I'm the only one people want to bring. I just tell my team, bring your prospects and put them in front of me. It makes you, maybe you feel warm and fuzzy all over because you think you're such an amazing leader. But let me tell you, a couple years from now, you're going to be on some reality TV show talking about how many codependents you have in your life. It's not about building you up as a leader. It's about building up your potential leaders. So this is huge for you. Direct that light down on the team, not up on you, meaning the focus. Let's make the focus. Who just did their first home meeting? Who got their first customers? Who did their first training? Who just broke their first ranks? Who's getting accelerated ranks, right? Who's got it going on? We recognize and celebrate those people, encourage them, and celebrate the victories that they have, not about the victories that you are. If you get that, I want to see 50 hearts on the screen, okay? Because we think it's one of these counterintuitive things. We think, well, the more I build myself up as a super leader, the more everybody's going to want to join my team and be with me. No, the greatest leaders, they don't build the belief in themselves. They build the belief in their people. This would lead me to number 8. The last one of the things we want to talk about is, want to be really, really genius about this? Challenge your people. One of the greatest gifts that I can give my team as a leader is that I will give them challenges, right? I'll give you an example. I've got a guy with a line in Lima, Peru. Great guy, great team, incredible energy with his team. I'm really proud of him. I'm proud of his whole team. And he's got this, I guess you'd say, millennial team, because he has a couple of guys at decent ranks that are like 18 years old. He's got a guy at a solid rank who's 20 years old. So I go and do events for his team, and man, I'm like grandfather in the room. I mean, I'm 3 times the age of half the people in that room. And I love that. I love that energy, and it's really exciting to have these young guys in the business. But I called him the other day, and I said, I've got a challenge for you. We've got a convention coming up in like 10 days or something at that point, or 2 weeks. And I say, my challenge to you is I want you to sponsor 4 people who are over 40 before the convention. Because he's not, maybe he's older than me, not as old as me. He's in his 50s, I think. I'm 58 now, right? So he's my age, right? But he doesn't have people our age in his group. He's got this great, amazing young millennial group, and he's had a lot of success with them. But it's tougher for millennials, right? The kids who don't have degrees, haven't made a lot of money, they have to really start. Oh, I saw that, Wes Linden. You see, and he said he wasn't mocking me. See, I think it was Wes who wrote that, 25 times 3. I just say, hey, you know what I think is the next level for you? I think the next level, I'm sorry, people are saying they're losing time or you're freezing and worrying. This is a lot of people on here and a lot of comments. I don't know what their bandwidth is at Facebook or what it is where you are, but we do have a lot of people on this and doing a lot of, a lot of comments and hearts and everything. And but this will be up for a, replays anytime for you and your team. So, but most people seems to be coming through good. So, and it'll be on the Facebook page straight after. But my challenge to my friend here was, hey, I want you to sponsor 4 people because I think that's the next level for you to get. And he sent me back, you know what? I accept the challenge. You're exactly right. That is what the next thing is for me. And that's one of the greatest gift you will do for your team is to challenge them. They're an all-volunteer army. They don't work for us. We can't hire them and fire them. So the temptation is there just to pander to them. And only, the Little League thing where everybody gets orange slices or everybody gets ice cream after the match and the soccer match. But really, you want to be a great leader in our profession. You want to be a great leader for your team. One of the greatest gifts you can give them is to challenge them and challenge them to be greater. Like I mentioned, I'm coaching that softball team. You know what my number one job is? Plain and simple. My job is that every player on that team gets better. And I look at my network marketing business the same way. That's my job as the leader or the sponsor, is to make sure every person on the team gets better. All right, so I hope you're getting value from this. If you think this was helpful for you tonight, hit some hearts or some likes or some thumbs up or whatever. And here's what I want you to know. If you think this was helpful, if you think this is the kind of knowledge that would help you grow your business, here's what I want you to know. This is the information, this is the content that didn't make the cut for my mastermind sessions. This is the content that wasn't quite strong enough to go to the live event. All right, and I am one of like 20 faculty members, amazing rock star presenters from some of the finest companies in our profession. It's totally safe. It's totally generic. It's the only event you can bring your people to. So if you don't have your team registered, go to mastermindevent.com. and click on the ticket button. Right now they have the super early bird up. They kept it up just for this broadcast. It's literally 70% off the full price of the ticket. So this is a great time for you to get registered. Great time to share this with the people in your team and get them registered, because I use this event as one of my major events for my top people. I want all my leaders there. I go to it every year, and you definitely want to do that. Make sure, if you haven't, like the page that this is being broadcast on, the Mastermind Event Facebook page. because there's a series of these broadcasts coming up. 1 week from tonight, Art Jonak himself will be doing the broadcast. And so that'll be 1 week from tonight, same bat time, same bat channel. I think on the 7th of June, we're going to have Eric Gamio will be doing one of these in Spanish. I believe we're going to have Luca Maloney doing one in Spanish. We've got, hopefully, Sarah Robbins will be doing one. Wes Linden will be doing one. We're trying to get a lot. Eugene Hong, hopefully, will do one. We're going to get a bunch of the presenters. Yeah, Wes just put in the comments, mastermindevent.com. Click on the tickets link and get your team registered, because this is the event of the year. It only happens once a year, and you want your top people at that, because it'll make a huge difference for exactly what we talked about: building their belief, helping them develop skills, gain confidence, so they come out of that event duplicating like crazy. All right, thanks everybody for being on. Thanks so much for all the thumbs up and the hearts and the likes and all that, and all of the shares. Again, like the page so you get all the updates, and I will see you guys in Orlando in September. Peace, guys.